It started when Marcus took the new job. He'd been out of work for a while, so when a security company offered him a position watching over a defunct sawmill outside Bremen, he didn't ask too many questions. The place was remote, 2 miles off the main highway, tucked between forest and frostbitten hills. A single access road, no neighbors, no cell reception, unless you stood on the back trailer with your phone pointed toward the northern sky. The company had converted one of the old shipping offices into a living space. Bed, kitchen, space heater. Nothing fancy. Just enough for someone to stay on site through the winter and make their presence known, as they put it. Deterrent, not defense. Marcus didn't mind. Said the silence helped him think. The first few weeks were uneventful. Cold mornings, warm coffee, long walks along the outer fence. Nothing but the crack of frost and the creaking of old metal. Once in a while, he'd hear an owl or fox. Even kept a notebook to log noises and times. Just to stay sharp, he told me. The first odd thing he noticed was the cigarette butts. They weren't his. Marcus didn't smoke. But one morning, walking the gravel path near the old gate, he spotted a half-burned stub nestled in the frost. German brand, short filter. He tossed it. Figured maybe a technician had dropped it before the handover. But more showed up. Sometimes a pair near the loading dock. Once 3 lined up perfectly on the windowsill outside the kitchen. Always smoked halfway. Always fresh. He set up a cheap camera facing the yard. Nothing on the footage but night fog and frost. Then came the tapping. 3 nights in a row he heard it. Soft, rhythmic, like someone lightly knocking on metal. Not the door, but the old container near the back fence. 1 long tap. Pause. 2 short ones. Pause. He waited in the dark once, shotgun in hand, eyes trained on the window. Nothing. Still, he found boot prints the next morning, clear imprints in the snow, circling the trailer. The prints were wrong, too long, too narrow, almost like someone dragging their feet, but with perfectly straight posture. He didn't mention it when we spoke, not at first, just said he wasn't sleeping well. I drove out there once, early January. He didn't want me to, but I insisted. The place was dead quiet. Air like glass. Snow crunching like broken shells. Inside, Marcus looked like he hadn't slept in days. Pale, jittery, but calm. Almost too calm. He told me about the man by the road. Said he started seeing him 2 weeks back. Always from a distance, just past the tree line, off the highway where the access path began. Tall guy, lean, no coat, just a dark hoodie and jeans, standing perfectly still, facing the property, not moving, not waving, just watching. Marcus said the first time he spotted him, he thought it was a hitchhiker. Next time, he slowed the truck and rolled down the window. Nothing. The guy didn't blink, didn't flinch, just stared. Said the man's face was too smooth, like there were features, but none of them stuck. He started taking a different route to town, even though it added 30 minutes. Started sleeping with the shotgun next to the bed. Every night, he said he heard the tapping again, not just the container. Now the trailer itself, sometimes from the back, once from the roof. He called the company. They sent a rep who stayed for one night, found nothing, and left. Told him it was probably foxes or pipes settling. Marcus knew better. One night, during a snowstorm, he lost power. Generator kicked in, but the cameras were dead. He said he could feel something outside. Not like hearing it, more like pressure, like the silence itself was being stretched. And the door handle rattled, just once. A slow turn, like someone testing it. Not yanking, not knocking, just easing it, inch by inch. He didn't move, didn't breathe, just lay there in bed, holding the shotgun, waiting. Eventually, the pressure lifted. The wind returned. The heater kicked in. When he checked the door in the morning, the latch was bent, not broken, just warped. The next night, he didn't sleep. At 3:13 a.m., he remembers the exact time. He looked through the kitchen window and saw the man standing in the center of the yard, not moving, not looking at the trailer, just facing it, like he had nowhere else to be. No footprints around him, no trail in the snow. Marcus turned off the light, backed away, but the tapping started again. This time, inside the wall, not loud, not fast, just deliberate. He packed the next morning, left everything, clothes, gear, even the notebook, took the truck and drove south without calling the company. He stayed with me for 3 nights. Didn't say much, barely ate, kept the blinds closed and the front door locked, even in broad daylight. On the second night, around 2 a.m., I caught him standing by the window, whispering to himself. Said the man wasn't done. Said he never moved, never walked, just appeared, like a thought that wouldn't go away. On the 3rd morning, he left. Didn't say where he was going, just drove off before sunrise. That was 3 months ago. I haven't heard from Marcus since. But last week, a man in a dark hoodie came by the building where I work. Didn't speak, just stood across the street, watching. If this story kept you up tonight, you're not alone. I share true horror like this every week. So if you enjoy the shadows, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next nightmare. And if you have a story that still haunts you, send it in. Until then, sleep tight, if you can.